The plan to produce business process is fully supported by Microsoft Dynamics GP 2013. The execution portion of this process is primarily manufacturing order processing. Let's take a look. There are multiple ways that we can create a manufacturing order within Microsoft Dynamics GP 2013. An order could be created directly from a sales order line, such as in a make-to-order environment. An order can be derived from an MPS or master production schedule. We can simply transfer an MRP-created planned manufacturing order, or we can create one manually. Let's go ahead and take a look at what an order looks like. This is a manufacturing order, and I'm not going to go through every field, but you can see some of the features and functions associated with the selections. I can determine what bill of material I want to use as the basis for this manufacturing order. In the case of having multiple routings, I can determine which particular routing I want to use. I can define ending quantities and start quantities in the case of scrap. And of course, I can set up criteria regarding the dates and the scheduling preferences. Now, manufacturing orders in Microsoft Dynamics GP 2013 are governed by their status. The status allows us to interact with the orders in particular ways. Let's go ahead and click on the Schedule MO button. So we've went ahead and scheduled the MO as well as built the pick list. And what that really means is we've loaded the capacity on those work centers that are going to be required based on the routing for this MO. On the material side, we built the pick list based on the bill of material selection for this particular MO. What we're going to do now is change the MO status because we want to further the process and we need to interact with the manufacturing order in a particular way. So let's go ahead and change the MO status to released. Please click on the drop-down box next to the MO status field. Now let's go ahead and release the MO by selecting Released as the MO status. What this will allow us to do is to work with the component inventory that's required based on the bill of material for this particular manufacturing order. Using our Go To button, we want to go ahead and navigate to those other windows that are related to this particular manufacturing order entry window, as well as this particular manufacturing order. Now, this is an entirely optional step, but what we want to do is look at the component inventory that's going to be required for this manufacturing order. So let's open the manufacturing component transaction entry window by clicking on it. Now this window displays all the components and subassemblies that are required for the production of our item within this particular manufacturing order. And you can see that we have a variety of component item numbers here, as well as quantities, units of measure, where they're going to be pulled from, and where they're going to be issued to. Now again, this is entirely an optional step. I could backflush all my items and not have to worry about this particular window. But what I want you to do is select Mark All, because we want to maintain some more control over what we're going to issue to this particular manufacturing order. Now that we've verified that we really do want to issue these particular components to this manufacturing order, we're going to go ahead and print a pick list. This would be something that would print perhaps on a printer in the warehouse, where a warehouse picker, a warehouse worker, would go out to the racks and aisles locations and pick the proper material based on what we've just determined. Now again, this is an optional step. We don't have to do this, but the reason I'm showing it to you is we can maintain a certain amount of control over all components or select components for a particular manufacturing order. It's entirely up to the user, and we can change it at any time, and we can change it by manufacturing order. This is an example of the document that a warehouse worker would use when they walk through the warehouse and pick the particular items for our manufacturing order. Once we know the materials have been picked and issued to the manufacturing order, the next step is to post. And what that's going to do, it's going to reduce component inventory. In other words, we're issuing that component inventory to the work in process. Now again, this is entirely optional. We don't have to interact with the manufacturing component transaction entry screen, and we can determine when we want to interact with it based on the item level within a manufacturing order. In other words, if there's critical components that we want to control, we can choose to do that. If there's basic components that we simply want to backflush at standard, we can choose to do that as well. Please click on the Post button. Okay, so we have a manufacturing order. It's released. We've issued materials to it. Let's go ahead and complete it. From the Go-To menu, please click Manufacturing Order Receipt Entry. In order to put finished goods into inventory, we need to post our receipt. So in the Manufacturing Order Receipt Entry window, we now have a receipt quantity of 5, and what I would like you to do is click on the Post button. You'll now notice the status of this MO, this manufacturing order, has changed to complete. Now I'd like to show you one of the windows that I think is very powerful. So let's go ahead and go to the Go-To menu. I think this is one of the most powerful windows within the manufacturing order side of Microsoft Dynamics GP 2013. And really what it is kind of an audit trail for a manufacturing order. So what I'd like you to do is click on Manufacturing Order Activity within the Go-To menu. Now as a manufacturing professional, I really like the Manufacturing Order Activity window. It provides me with the information so that I can understand the life cycle of a particular manufacturing order. If you look at the information that's displayed in this window and read from the bottom up, you can see that various things have occurred with this manufacturing order. We've had status changes, we've built pick lists, we've issued and allocated material, we have raw material relief as well as finished good posting. And I can drill into this window to get to those individual inventory transactions if I need to truly understand what's occurred with this manufacturing order. Within the Plan to Produce business process in Microsoft Dynamics GP 2013, manufacturing order processing is really the execution side of it. It's where the rubber hits the road. It's where we're going to do something. Not planning, we're actually converting sub-assemblies and raw materials to finished goods. The primary thing I want you to remember about what we have just seen is flexibility. Manufacturing order processing within Microsoft Dynamics GP 2013 is extremely flexible. We can choose to backflush materials and labor at standard. We can choose to discretely issue components of material or labor to a manufacturing order. We can choose which bill of material we want to base our manufacturing order on, which routing we want to base it on. And even more important, it's not set in stone. Once we make a decision regarding how we want to issue material or labor, we can change that later on. We can change it by manufacturing order. Microsoft Dynamics GP allows the user extreme flexibility in their manufacturing order processing. Now, if you'd like to see this demo again, just click on the box Manufacturing Order Processing.